Hello everybody, and welcome. I am so excited. This is the first habitual cosmic review for the month of December, and I'm just really excited to start this journey, provide more information on astrology and how we can use it in order to assist and support us in our own growth and our own development. And we're going to start in December. And it's going to be kind of a little more personal, high level, going over what you can expect in December, some transits that may be really important to look into. One of the key things in December that came to me was the phrase, "We play for lifetimes, not for lifetime." So I wanted to kind of hone in on that a little more. There's this life is more than just us in this exact moment, right? There are, as ripples in the matrix would say, we create ripples that go out from us and affect others. We have ancestral ties. We have lineages that we belong to. We have lineages that are going to hopefully continue on even after us. And that is really what this is meant for, is as we play in this game of life, as we have this beautiful experience, we play for more than just this lifetime. We play for lifetimes, for the one that is beyond ours and that continues to be beyond and beyond and beyond. And once we start to understand that, once we start to hone in on that energy, that can be really powerful, and it can start to allow us to think in a more expansive way. Because now it's not just about what we're doing here, it's about what we're doing for multiple times, for people and places that we haven't even been yet, places and people that we may never even meet or go, or it's just lifetimes. And that was a really key sticking point for this month. When I sat down and looked at all of the energies and was, looking into them, one of the key words, and normally I'll get a few words, I've had equations come out. I get whole verbiages. Sometimes it's really funny how the things get brought to me. But this month it was so clear, and it was one word, and that word is diligence. Just gonna let that sit there. Diligence. So diligence is the careful and persistent work or effort. I'm going to throw an "and" in there. Work and or effort. It can be both, placing work, placing effort. It could be one or the other. But it was really the only word that seemed to matter in the month of December, especially when you look at the astrology, was just diligence. And so as I go through all of the astrology of the month, I'll be bringing it back to this word consistently. So first off, I want to just say there are so many completions in December. Typically, December's a completion month, right? It's the end of a season, beginning of a new season. That's what Yule is here for. When we usher in Capricorn season in the winter solstice. And so December's not unknown to completions, but when we look at it from the astrology, there's really a finality in December. Neptune is going direct December 1st at 20 degrees of Pisces. Neptune won't be here again. So this isn't one of those, I'm going to scrub over this 20-degree point a few times and then I'm gone. Neptune is gone after this. This is a completion energy when it goes direct. And when Neptune slows down to station direct, which I'm recording this on the 27th, that energy is already present. Neptune's already starting to slow and starting to station. that fog can get very heavy. And not in a, oh, hold on, wait, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm going. Just more so we can start to feel that fog, feel the, okay, here we go. Veil's gonna be lifted. Oh, okay. So it's like at a play. So if any of you have ever been in drama or have ever stood behind that red curtain as the actor or actress on stage, it's that breath before the curtain opens. That one last breath to center, to ground yourself, to like get and secure your energy for the act to start, for the play to start. All of that lifts and bam, it's showtime, baby. Let's go, right? So that is really, you know, it is a completion, but it's the completion to bring forth this play, to bring forth this next act, to bring forth something new. We also have the final eclipse in Sag at 18 degrees. At 18 degrees. We have the final eclipse in Sag, which was in an 18-month cycle. So eclipses are tied to the nodes, and the nodes are moving on. Another completion, which happens later on in the month, but this is the final Sagittarius eclipse that we're going to have for about 8 years. So again, another finality, another completion before the nodes shift into Scorpio and Taurus. Whole other energy center, whole other energy to learn from and to grow with. And that is really like diligence. From a diligence perspective, it's the diligence and how we are setting our next intentions. You know, it is that completion time, but with completions come new birth. You're letting go of something so new things can come in. So how are we setting our next intentions? That's that solar eclipse and Sag energy. Where are we going next? How does that align with our values? What do we need to put into play? And then with just the sun in Sag right now, we have diligence in how we approach our truth. Sagittarius, I see my truth, I see who I am, and it's this diligence in standing firm in that truth. Then on 12/11, so December 11th, we have our very first Venus conjunct Pluto at 25 degrees. This is an exact conjunction. This is a triplicate. Venus will conjunct Pluto 3 times due to her retrograde, and this is the start. This is the start of a conversation. And that conversation is the diligence in our values and the reality of them. How are we being diligent in our values? How are we being diligent in the realistic space that fits within our life? Values, as you grow, your values are meant to grow. So what that can look like is, let's say honesty has always been a value of yours. Well, honesty is a great value, but you've grown. So now what that could look like is your value turns into radical honesty. And it's just this extra little spice or little flair on it as you've grown as an individual. So that is the first of 3 conjunctions with Pluto. And so this is the start of a conversation. Again, completions and starts. This is that ebb and flow in our diligence in our process throughout all of it. Then 12/12, Mars goes into Sag. Mercury is right behind him the next day, going into Capricorn. And then on the 18th, we have the Gemini full moon at 27 degrees. So this is the diligence of our mind and body consciousness. Mars has a very active role in this full moon, which I will talk about more in another video and possibly even on my Patreon page. But Mars is very active within this Gemini full moon. And because of that, there is this body consciousness that is happening. And it's the connection, because Gemini is ruled by Mercury, the mind, there's this duality happening, which Gemini is so great at, this duality happening between the mind and the body and how they connect, how they work together and are conscious of each other in order for us to move forward. And then on 12/19, Venus stations retrograde at 26 degrees of Capricorn, and Chiron, our wounded healer, our beautiful Chiron, ends up direct in Aries at 8 degrees. And he's just going to hang out at 8 degrees of Aries all month. And as we get into the 2022 energies, that 8 degrees of Aries is going to come into play. So I'm excited to get more into that. So there's more to come in the Chiron story. And 21st of December, we usher in Capricorn. Love Capricorn energy. It is Yule, so blessings, blessed Sabbath to everyone. That is on 12/21. And this is really telling us, you know, where have we come, completion, and where do we want to go, the next step, this bringing in of the new. Capricorn really wants us to hone in on our time. It's ruled by Saturn. So time, your energy, what you're doing, who and how you pay attention to things. Saturn comes in and just asks you to be responsible with those things. Asks you like, hey, if you're going to climb this mountain, you're going to need to do it before, you know, this storm that's brewing happens. So how are you going to do that? Or, you know, think about it. If any of you have ever watched any YouTube videos or documentaries about climbing Everest, right? Their window is so small to get that climb done. And even as they're within that window, they have to determine, as they're almost to the top of this lifelong dream, this, you know, persistent effort that they have been working towards, they may have to turn back. And that's that energy, that's that Capricorn energy and that Saturn energy of be responsible with your time and your energy. Be responsible and pay attention to what's happening around you. You know, your Ori, or your higher self, knows what to do. Your ancestors help you get there. You know, it's that diligence of putting one foot in front of the other, one action after the next. It's consistency. Consistency makes magic. Consistency equals magic, period. Do the consistent thing. And that's what Capricorn teaches us. Remember, we attract both by what our attention goes to and what we intend. So going back to that Gemini full moon, what, 5, 18, 19, 23 days before Yule, mind and body consciousness, what we are paying attention to and what we intend, right? So this action of our body with our intentions of our mind, it's the thought and the action that is both needed to bring forth your vision to climb that mountain. On December 22nd, our node shift. So even though this is part of that completion energy at the beginning of the month with the solar eclipse, it is truly happens, this nodal shift truly happens on the 22nd. And this is diligence in our release so that the new can be birthed within us. We have learned a lot in 18 months. We have grown a lot. I know for myself personally, the 18 months that have gone by have changed me irrevocably. I am not the same person I was 18 months ago, and I am so grateful for that journey. I'm grateful for the lessons. I'm grateful for, you know, having that courage and having the support to put one foot in front of the other and keep going on this journey, because it led me right to this space, right to here recording this video. And that now, those lessons that I've learned and the things that came through, needs to be shed. That's a release point. That's a release point, so that way the new can be birthed within us. Taurian energy is all about the cultivating of the new. It's the new seeds that we plant for our harvest. You know, Scorpio is the roots of that plant. How are we going to increase these roots and provide these nutrients to these roots so the roses and our harvest and all of these things can bloom in that Taurian energy? And then we have our final Saturn square Uranus on 12/23. Again, another completion. This is diligence in embracing divine timing. That is what Saturn has been teaching us. That is what the square to Uranus. There's a lot, you know, depending upon your natal placements, depending upon how this energy works with you. One of the things that we have been learning is divine timing, is being okay with hearing the message of it's not time yet. Being okay with shifting and change and shifting and being very agile in that shift. These are all things that this conversation has been working with us. So whatever that conversation has been, this is that completion energy. 12/28, at the very end of the month, we end off the month with a bang. Jupiter in Pisces. Jupiter enters Pisces. He has left Aquarius, and it is expansive time. Jupiter next year is going to be working with Neptune in its home sign of Pisces. That's a whole other conversation I look forward to getting into later on in the month, here as well as on my Patreon page. It's such a beautiful time. It's such a beautiful, expansive time. It's a time of expansive dreams. It's a time of, you know, how do we be guided by our visions, and how do we flow and allow for things to occur, and how do we moderate all of the things around us and all of this beautiful, great, yummy energy that we have every day at our disposal. How do we sort and sift through our ideas and allow the ones to stay that need to, place a parking lot for the ones that are great, but just it might not be time right now for them, and being okay throughout that process and knowing everything happens for us, and we're always right on time. We are always right on time. If you are diligent in your actions, if you are diligent in your rituals, you're diligent in your work, it's coming. Everything will happen as it should be. And so Jupiter in Pisces, you know, one of my favorite sayings is hold the vision, trust the process. That has been mantra for me that has served me so well. Hold the vision, trust the process. And that's like Jupiter in Pisces. Hold the vision, trust the process. And Jupiter's just gonna drop these beautiful nuggets right into our lap that is just gonna help us expand and grow. So that is your December Habitual Cosmic Review. I am so excited. For those that are, you know, have seen some of the other videos, I too am on a journey. I too am going through changes. Again, I start the new year at Sabbath with Samhain, and that just brings and ushers in this new energy and this new life force. And this is really planning time. This is the time that I spend really diligently planning and setting out intentions for the next year, next cycles, whatever that looks like. And part of that is obviously this new expansion into an astrology video. But I also wanted to let you know and announce that I have started my own Patreon page. I am super excited about this. For those that are going to, and I hope to see you there, subscribe to my Patreon. What that page is going to really be cultivating is a lot more of this in-depth conversation. We're going to be looking in December at Venus's transit through Capricorn more in depth. her conjunctions to Pluto, what her retrogrades mean, how that could work for you depending upon, you know, if you're a mutable sign, if you have more fixed energy, just kind of how that can work with different energies and what you can expect from that. We're also going to be celebrating Yule, going through some Yule rituals. It's just really a beautiful space that I look forward to cultivating more and more, and just bringing more detailed content to you. And that subscription right now is only $3.33. Become a subscriber to Patreon. I will make sure that all of that information is in the description box below. I have also recorded my tarot reading for the Sagittarius solar eclipse, so that should be coming out pretty soon. If you are not a subscriber to the YouTube channel, make sure that you subscribe. That will tell you when all my videos drop. And if you found value in this, make sure to share. You can connect with me. All of my social links will be down below as well. I look forward to seeing you in December. I'll be bringing the 2022 overview, as well as at the end of December, ushering in January and what January can bring for us in astrology. Thank you so much. Bye.